These small stone markers, located here in Charlestown, Massachusetts, tell the invisible story of the Battle of Bunker Hill. But there is another small stone marker that exists that is not located here within the confines of the Bunker Hill National Historical Park. Now, this other memorial stone is located in a different area of Charlestown, where a lesser known but tremendously important part of the Battle of Bunker Hill happened. And that site is a burial ground today. Now, I have a confession. I have never actually seen this memorial stone in real life. I've never actually seen it with my own eyes. So I thought today in this video, we could try and find it. So I hope you're wearing your adventure pants, everybody, because today we are off again on another historical action adventure. Now, before we venture out of the park and to the burial ground to find the hidden memorial stone, first, let's stop back at one of the stones which is located here within the park. And this stone is kind of like a companion stone to the one in the burial ground. And right now we're kind of in the corner of the park behind the lodge to check out this stone right here. Hi everybody, it's me, Katie. Welcome back to my channel where it is all Revolutionary War all the time. If you've been here before, then welcome back. I am so happy that you've decided to join me once again. And if you haven't been here, then welcome. My name is Katie and I am a Revolutionary War researcher, writer, and speaker. And on this channel, we venture out on historical action adventures. We visit battlefields, burying grounds, historic houses, bridges, and even city streets where events of the American Revolution actually happened. So if that sounds like fun to you, then I hope you'll subscribe and come along. So this stone says, "The rail fence and grass line of protection formed after the British troops landed was 600 feet in the rear at the base of Bunker Hill." The rail fence was an absolutely critical position during the Battle of Bunker Hill. And without the rail fence, several hundred yards to the north, the redoubt, here where the monument stands, would have been an isolated island all by itself out on Breed's Hill. And the rail fence was literally a post and rail fence. And the American or provincial troops there, once the British landed here on the Charlestown Peninsula, very hurriedly began to break down fences that crisscrossed the pasture land that this area was in 1775. And they added all of those extra rails and materials to one particular rail fence line. And why was it also called the grass line of protection? Because those troops stuffed the fence with grass and hay. So a rail fence stuffed with hay was all that stood between the provincial troops and the British force who advanced upon them. Now, the hidden memorial stone that we'll be seeing today, or hopefully seeing today, is situated about on the line where the rail fence was standing on June 17th, 1775. Now, there is no trace of the rail fence today, but it's an important part of the invisible story of the Battle of Bunker Hill. Get ready, because today we are going to venture out and explore the battlefield beyond what we can see here today. In this video, we are going beyond the monument, beyond Breed's Hill, to learn more about the invisible story of the Battle of Bunker Hill and where it happened. Hi again, everybody. I just wanted to pop in and say that if you're enjoying this video or if you find it worthwhile, then I hope you'll consider clicking the like button. And I just want to say thank you to those of you who have clicked the like button in my previous videos. I see it and I appreciate it, and I want to thank you for supporting this channel and for sharing in the adventure with me. So if you find this content valuable, I hope you'll consider giving it a like. And now let's get back to the video. Okay, so we have left the park and we're making our way from Breed's Hill toward Bunker Hill, which is only a distance of a couple hundred yards in, I think, a northerly direction. But I have realized that I need a compass. All right, so we've walked about a quarter mile from the monument, and it took about 4 minutes. It was just under a quarter mile, and I'm not too out of breath. We are here on Bunker Hill Street in Charlestown, and this is kind of the base of Bunker Hill, as was indicated on that stone in the Bunker Hill Park. And you can kind of see perhaps how the road slopes down toward the east, toward Boston. But then in this direction, and it might not be easy to see, the road ascends up Bunker Hill itself. And here is the Bunker Hill burying ground. So let's go in. So this is the Bunker Hill burying ground, and it was established in the early 1800s, so it was not here on the day of the battle. The cemetery gates are usually kept locked, but I do have permission to be in here today. So the rail fence would have extended several hundred yards, kind of to the northeast in this direction, all the way down to the shoreline of the Mystic River. And the provincial troops who were positioned here would have faced toward Boston Harbor in this direction to confront the British soldiers that would be advancing upon them. In the heat of battle, the American troops positioned here along the rail fence line inflicted staggering casualties upon the British Grenadier and Light Infantry companies who attacked, stopping them from breaking through the rail fence line. If the British had succeeded in breaking through the rail fence, they would have ended up behind the American troops in the redoubt on top of Breed's Hill. And from behind, they could have cut off the retreat of every American here on the Charlestown Peninsula, preventing them from reaching the main provincial armies at Cambridge. And no American would have returned from the Battle of Bunker Hill. But the rail fence held. The rail fence held until the British overran the redoubt on top of Breed's Hill. And when Colonel William Prescott ordered a retreat, the men from the rail fence covered it, marking the end of the Battle of Bunker Hill. So are you ready to go find that stone? I know I am, and I think I know where it is. So let's go check it out. Okay, so I'm about to walk over to the stone now and see it for the first time, but the truth is, I could kind of see it out of the corner of my eye this whole time, but I wasn't looking, and I did not walk over here until now. Oh, wow, awesome. Wow. Okay, so if you can see me and the stone, it says the line of rail fence and grass protection formed after the British troops landed on the 17th of June, 1775, extended in this direction to Mystic River. Wow. So there it is. And the funny thing is like I said, I could kind of see it out of the corner of my eye. And so even though this cemetery is typically locked, this stone is totally viewable and visible from the sidewalk, from the street. So you can definitely come by and check it out and get a sense of where the rail fence stood during the Battle of Bunker Hill. I do have a new website. It's allrevolutionarywar.com if you want to stop by, and in case you think you might have missed any of our previous historical action adventures, you can find them here. Thank you all so much for watching, as always, and I'll see you in the next video.